Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my Final Fantasy Brave Extras video, and it's going to be a banner review for Xenogears Part 1, or don't know if it's going to be single or double or who knows. But we do have Xenogears here with Fei Neo Vision Awakening. His STMR got buffed to have 1,000 flat attack, but only for him. It would have been better if it was for Xenogears only. It would have probably been a lot better, actually, but unfortunately it's only for him. So, base form, 300% lower burst damage, 600% cap, 100% true dual wield, 50 times mod boost to everything, but his limit burst. 200% demon and also human killers, triple cast. I just want to point that out because he didn't have it before. 100 times mod boost, dark AMOE chaining with 130% dark imperil. Pretty decent on top of that 50 times mod boost. So, it's 150 times mod. Pretty good. You have to awaken it to +3, but that's pretty good. And there really isn't anything else mentioning. Let's go into his Brave Shift form. 300% low burst damage, 500% cap, 300% attack passive, 1000 attack when unarmed. So I think how this goes is as it's a different attack than the attack cap itself, I'm assuming, because I've seen screenshots already in my Discord where these units are having an extremely high attack in their Brave Shift form, 9,000 attack on ID, for example, or ID. So I'm assuming they're different because 1,000 attack would be over the cap. So I'm assuming they're different because otherwise that wouldn't make any sense. 120 times mod boost to lone person on cooldown. His Brave Shift lone person 9 hit dark physical damage, 180 times 130% 130% dark imperil. No infinite turns. I guess it doesn't matter. I wrote the originally, and then I looked at the other ones, and they're both the same. So yes, he doesn't have any true dual or TDH in his Brave Shift form, but I guess it's not meant to be that way. You're meant to be unarmed, which is a little bad because, well, and you don't have killers or whatever, but I guess it doesn't matter because you have 300% low burst damage. So all you're mandatory to equip is Lightning's STMR, and now you can just do whatever you want. You have 3 slots for killers. So I guess that's also a good thing. Cooldown for mod boost has a long cooldown, so basically you're only going to be using it for this one time per fight, basically, unless the fight lasts longer than necessary. But cooldown is quite long, 8 turns, and it's the same for all the other ones as well, 8 turns. But there's some restrictions on the other ones, which I don't really like too much. So Fei is probably going to be a very strong chaining damage dealer on both sides, really. Low burst damage dealer chaining, as well as his chaining in his base form of 150 times mod with 130% in dark imperil. His base low burst is not worth using, by the way. It's only 65 times, kind of bad, so not really worth using. But I would say he's a pretty strong chainer. I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8.5 out of 10. Decent imperils. Pretty good killers. I mean, Demon Killer pretty useful. Machine Killer not so useful, but it's probably going to be useful for this upcoming event. Not upcoming, it's already here, but you know what I mean when I say that. Anyways, moving on to ID or ID. His STMR, I feel like, is probably one of the worst in terms of collaboration STMRs that I've ever seen. And it's kind of hard to beat that, but like, he also has 70 attack, but like, LB fill rate, 100%, and LB fill 3, that's really bad. That's just bad. If that was 100% LB damage, but only for Xenogears, that'd be insane. But it's actually really mediocre, and the reason for that being mediocre is because you need to get him to EX2 because of what we'll be talking about soon. So in his base form, 600% cap, 100% true dual wield. By the way, the 600% cap is not tied behind dual wielding, and so that is also the case for all of them. So you could do TDH if you wanted to. 250% lone burst damage, 200% plant killer, machine killer. Auto cast passive, boosts his chaining mods every turn. So 25 times mod boost after the first turn, 30, 35, 40 on the 4th turn there. fire AMOE chaining. And in his Brave Shift form, he has 300% low burst damage, 500% cap. It's the same. It's gonna be the same for all of them, guys. 1000% attack when unarmed. I've already seen the attack is over 9,000. I guess I get to use that meme unintentionally because it literally is over 9,000. 200% plant and machine killer again. I just want to mention that in case you're like, oh, does he have no killers? Yeah, he does. BS little burst is a 3-hit. Physical damage, 130%, fire and peril, 150%, little burst damage buff, 200 times mod. I don't think he's stronger than Sephiroth because number one, he doesn't have any Infist Imperils. None of them do, which is a little weird. I guess he wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I guess because he wants to go unarmed. He should have had some unarmed Imperil. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I guess that's why he doesn't have any weapon Imperils because you go unarmed anyways. Whoops. I'm still getting. This is a very new mechanic to me, guys. So give me some slack on that. Don't give me anything in the comment section for that one. I don't think he's better than Sephiroth though. I mean, yes, he'll have higher attack than Sephiroth, but Sephiroth's modifier is 350 times. Yes, you have to stack it. So maybe in the end, maybe you could do more damage than you could. You could probably do fat. You could on the first turn, you're probably gonna be stronger than Sephiroth, but after the second turn, no way. Because his modifier is only 280 times, and it's 3 hits, which I don't know if it's gonna interrupt anything. Maybe you have to time it a little bit, not being at that absolute end, but near the end. So I'm not sure about this. No infinite turns, and like what we talked about before with the S team being kind of mediocre, is because you need to get him to EX2 to get that modifier boost, that cooldown modifier boost, and I don't like that at all. I'm used to those kind of things being like EX3 and then you don't really need to use it, but you need to have this or else he's a mediocre chainer or mediocre finisher in his Brave Shift form. He's really bad without that mod boost. It's only 200 times mod. That's really bad. That's like Sephiroth's base low burst, which is still pretty decent, but like you need EX2. That's why his STMR is kind of whatever. His autocast and his Brave Shift form should have been for his low burst buffs, not his chaining. He still has the same passive autocast passive on his Brave Shift form, but it's not for his lone burst this time. It's only for his chaining, and his chaining is bad. Why would you want to use his chaining when you should be using his lone burst every single turn? Very similar to Reagan, because you don't have infinite turns this time. So if you're not at AX2 and you're not using his cooldown on the first turn, and you're not using his lone burst every single turn after that, you're wasting your time. Because he should be using his own burst if you're losing damage. So with that being said, I don't know. I don't like the EX2 being locked for an essential mechanic of the unit. He's locked behind EX2. So what if you are a free-to-play player and you get EX1, but you don't get enough shards for EX2? So now you have to wait months to get EX2 at this point. Months, I would say. So I don't like that. I don't like that none of them have infinite turns. Spoilers. None of them infinite turns. I don't like that. And his base form is really just blah. It's just blah. He's a bland fire chainer with almost no abilities at all. I don't know. Like the sprites are super amazing, but the kits are like, at least in his base form, that's like super lazy. And in Fei's Brave Shift form, they kept some of his base form stuff in there. Like, why? So I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I'm gonna go ahead and give him 8.5 as well, but I'm doing that a little reluctantly. I'm trying to I'm being non-biased, guys, because this is my favorite game, but like I'm a little disappointed with these a bit. Graph here with definitely a better STMR than the last one, and this one's going to be the one that everybody's going to want. 50% LB damage not tied to anything, and I checked that, I double checked that. Plus 100% LB filler, which is pretty good. So 60 attack, 50% low first damage, guys. That's a flat 50%, no more 20 or 30%, whatever the circlet had, the 11th circlet. You can kiss that circlet goodbye once this guy comes around. If you're going to pull for him, get a flat 50% low first damage, no more 290% limit burst damage, 250, 295 limit burst damage. You're going to be able to get it a lot easier with this guy if you pull for him. So, in his base form, 600% capped, again, not tied to anything in particular. Sorry about that. 100% true to wield, 200% human and machine killer, 250% limit burst damage, but you're not really going to be using his limit burst because of what we're going to be talking about here, and that will be his pentacast and triple cast, but his pentacast most likely. He's a self-capping chainer. After all of his mod boosts, very similar to Regina and, you know, Noctis and all that kind of, those kind of units, where you're boosting your modifiers. And he has a water and earth imbue, but I would assume you'd only use the water imbue to get the 300% chain cap a little bit faster on the screen there when it says 300%. I assume that's the reason why you'd want to do that, because he's very similar to Cleom. You boost all your modifiers that turn, and you also chain and then use the cooldown, which is, hold on. It's only single cast when dual wielding, so obviously you would just do it as a part of it. So you'll finish with that cooldown, and you'll chain, and then you'll finish. You'll self cap. Very similar to Cleom. Very similar to Cleom actually, and at that one turn you get a 550 times mod for that one turn, because it's a 2-turn cooldown, and his chaining is a 522 times mod. So I'd say that's pretty good. I would expect him to be something like this because he's incredibly overpowered, especially if you guys go look up Xenogears Grahf fight on the Goliath. He fights on his feet 3 gears. He fights 3 giant machines by himself on the ground. Not literally on the ground, on a ship, but he literally kicks the you know what out of them. It's possible to win this fight, but you're pretty much meant to lose. It's pretty funny. He jumps around, he shoots blasts at people. It's amazing. It's an eye-opening point, because at that point in the game you're like, well, I'm pretty strong in level and I'm beating all these bosses, and then this guy comes around and he just kicks you out of the sky. It's pretty funny, I have to say. It's pretty funny. So his brave shift limit burst 300 times, you know, it's the same as all the other ones. 300% limit burst damage, 500% cap, 1000 attack unarmed, 200% machine and human killer. Again, I just want to mention that his brave shift limit burst 130%, earth and peril 150%, limit burst damage 200 times earth physical damage, 6 hits. So obviously it's kind of like a chaining, like maybe it's a finisher. 80 times mod boost for his limit burst there, so 280 times. Infinite turns, brave shift limit burst. Brave shift CD is also locked behind EX2, but this time at least his STMR is better, and he's most likely a self-capping chainer. I mean, I don't think he's a limit burst damage dealer. Yes, he has 300% limit burst damage. It's 6 hits. I don't know if you're using this as a finisher or chainer, because I'm not sure anymore because of Tifa. Tifa is a finisher, but she has those several hits, so I'm kind of unsure nowadays. I'm kind of unsure if this is a chainer or a finisher, but because I don't know what the last hit is like. I feel like he's more like a self-capping chainer because those modifiers are ridiculously high. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a 9 out of 10. I think he's the best out of the banner, but that's not saying much. It's not saying much. I'm not really happy about any of this stuff. Locking essential kit behind EX2. Not sure I like that too much. It's like locking Sephiroth's vision card behind EX3. I don't like that too much either. So overall, I'm probably still going to try and pull on this banner, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to pull with. But probably going to pull on Saturday, because I'm getting my room prepared and all that kind of stuff. So probably going to do some pulls on Saturday or even Sunday. I'm not sure. Not today though. Not today. So if you were expecting, oh, where's the pulls at? Not today. Thank you guys for watching. If all the way through, if you watch all the way through, let's try to do the hashtag thing again. Do hashtag Xenogears in the comment section down below if you watched all the way through. Let me know who's your favorite in this banner here. And if you pull, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys later for the second video. Peace.